Hello everyone, this is Crode giving you a review of the card game Locke and Key based upon an IDW Publishing's graphic novel series written by Joe Hill. Now in the game, each player represents a character in the story who is trying to overcome certain challenges that are thrown at them from, I believe, the Key House. Now, every player will be dealt a hand, and it is up to the players to work together as a team or as individuals to try and overcome the challenges of the house. Now, although the players do work together, there are some other gameplay elements where you may purposely try to sabotage your other opponents as well, or perhaps try to bluff them since you are trying to score the most points. Now, I will be giving a short demonstration and a brief overview on how to play the game, and let's go ahead and get into that now. Now, the first thing to do when playing the game is setting up and identifying all three of the different piles of cards. You're going to have your challenge deck located here, you're going to have your key deck, and then you're going to have your strength deck. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to shuffle all of the decks, making sure that they are nice and randomized. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you will be counting out 6 cards from the challenge deck. So here's my 6 cards. From here, you will be taking the game over card, which indicates when the gameplay is completed, and shuffling this card into the bottom 6 cards of the deck. So go ahead and take these cards here, make sure that they are nice and shuffled, and then place them on the bottom of the challenge deck here. That means that, or when you see the game over card show up, that's when you know that the game has been completed. Now you know that the game over card is in the bottom 7 cards in total, but you don't know exactly where they are. Secondly, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and deal out 4 strength cards to every player. Now, assuming that this is a 4-player game, all players receive 4 cards. Now, at the start of the turn, each player should have 4 cards in their hand, or at least the start of the first turn, each player will have 4 cards in their hand. You then reveal the top card of the challenge deck. The top card of the challenge deck, it tells you what the color of the challenge is, and also what the difficulty is. From there, each player is dealt an additional card from the top of the strength deck. It's highly suggested that you have one dealer to keep track of this at all times so that everyone makes sure that they have the right amount of cards. Now, there is also going to be a key that has a player that has the lock. Whoever has the lock will end up going first and is also used in order to determine tiebreakers. Now, since this is a collaborative game, it is very important that other players, whenever you go in on a challenge, that other players try to help out. Now, in the end, you are trying to score the most amount of points to be the winner, but there are some reasons why you may help out in a challenge. If you take a look at Depression here, the second place player gets to draw a key. Now, the key card is a powerful card that is added to your hand and has additional effects as well. You can go ahead and check online or check the owner's manual or the player's guide to figure out all the special effects that all the keys have, but take my word for it, the keys are in fact very, very strong. Now, going through a hand, what you're going to see is the player with the lock has to go first. Now, in the game, there is a total of 3 colors. There's white, blue, and black. Now, white, blue, and black, since they're all 3 colors, but the challenge here is only going to be a white challenge. So the only card that this player could play would be this card here. And because of that, there is not much that player 1 can really do. So what he may opt to do is he may decide to either discard 2 cards from his hand to search for a key, or he can take the top card from his draw deck, hoping that later on his hand's more powerful, or he may play anywhere from 1 to 3 cards. Now, you do not always have to play cards that match the challenge, but other players are not necessarily going to know what you are exactly doing with what exactly the cards are, and it's kind of feigning or bluffing that you are really, really interested in this particular challenge. Now, in this player's case, it's early in the game and there's not much that the player can do. So this player, I would normally suggest that they would just take the top card of the draw deck. From there, play continues to go clockwise. And we will take a look at the second player. The second player notices that the first player hasn't played any cards and wonders whether or not he should play as well. At this time, he does have a white strength 4, which is about half of the strength of the challenge. Now, with this, he could try to play the 4 down, knowing that he may not be able to win the challenge outright, but he may be able to get the second place reward and draw a key. So what this player will do is, this player will say, I'm going to be playing 1 card. So the player places 1 card face down in front of them and places the rest back in their hand. Next is another player here. And what this player can do is, there are also cards with game text. This player so far has seen that the previous player has only played 1 card and the first player hasn't played any. So this player may decide, you know what, and he sees a card in his hand that's a white card that says, if this white challenge is failed, draw 2 strength cards. So this player may think to himself, you know what, I'm going to act like I'm committing to this challenge, but I'm actually really hoping that this challenge actually fails. So this person goes, okay, I'm going to play 1 card here. Finally, the final player here gets a number of options, gets to see what happens last. Now, this player is in the best position because he gets to see what all of the players have done before him. But in the case of tiebreakers, whoever is closer to the key is the winner. So if for some strange instance this player ties the second place player, the second player, because the second player is closer to the key, he will go ahead and win this particular challenge. So let's go ahead and he will decide to play this 1 white strength card here. Some white strength cards have condition on them, or some strength cards have conditions on them that say when you play this card face up. In this particular instance, it says if this is the only card you play on a white challenge, you may play it face up. If you do, add the top 4 cards of the strength deck to your play face down. So what this player is going to do is, he's going to chance it. He's going to say, I'm going to play this card here, and then he also receives the next 4 cards as part of his play. Now, the good thing is that these 4 cards, or the bad thing is that these 4 cards may or not be white cards. So if they are not white cards, they add absolutely no effect to the overcoming of this challenge. So after all is said and done, all the players reveal their cards, and we will be seeing that the total number is right now 4, 5, 6, plus the number of cards from the top over here, and it is a total of 5. So in this particular instance, the first player, or the player who wins first place, is the player who has the highest total since the challenge is overcome. The challenge is overcome since we have a total of 9 compared to 7. Now, second place gets to draw a key. The second place player is the player that has the second highest amount, which would be the 4. So player 2 would then receive a key. And in this particular instance, the skin key. You may place a strength card under this key during a challenge. When it is revealed, it turns black, and any other words on it change to black as well. So basically, the skin key allows a player to change any card that they have in their hand to black in order to help them overcome a challenge. Now, this player's game text says, if this white challenge is failed, draw 2 cards. The white challenge was not failed, so this player doesn't get anything. Meanwhile, the player in the number 4 position has overcome the challenge, and he gets first place. So he takes this card and adds it to his strength pile. Or not his strength pile, his score pile. So he now has a total of 7 points. Whoever has won the challenge then takes initiative. You clean up all the cards, and then you play again. So everyone gets dealt an additional card, and you start over with a new play with player 4 starting first. At the end of the game, whenever the game over card is revealed, that is when the game is officially over, and total players total up the number of cards and the number of points in their hand. Now, it is important to note that there is a number of ways to score points besides from winning the challenge. There are some second place rewards and some game text cards that say score the top cards, or score the top 2 cards of the strength deck. So in this particular instance, this is a blue challenge of a difficulty 6. So the first place person would score 6 points, but the second place person could potentially score more or less points, or the same amount of points, by scoring the top 2 cards of the strength deck. This is where players work together to try to figure out whether or not specific rewards are actually worth it, and what they want to invest and what they want to use their cards and their strengths in. Now, if you guys have any questions, I'll go ahead and answer them in the channel comments below. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this, a rather short review, and yes, please leave me any feedback.